Hello everybody and welcome here to Gatorade Duels, the 150s here on Thursday. We're having them at night for the first time in a while. Actually, I think this is the first time ever that we're having the actual duels ran at night. We've had last chance qualifiers before it ran at night here for the duels, but this time, it's simple. Race your way in by being the top 14 finishers in your duel, but if the pole sitter is inside the top 14, then the top 15 is the guys that race their way in. Many drivers need to race their way in today, and here it comes down to the green flag. 50 laps, 150 miles today. We're underway in racing. It's going to be an interesting race, no doubt. In the shootout, some of these guys have experience. Jeff James coming off winning the Sony shootout, and then the very next day winning the pole for the Daytona 500. Right now, the best driver on the grid right now for Martin Motorsports. And he's going to be a driver to look out for possibly a second Daytona 500 victory. Only a couple of drivers have ever done that. Nicholas Cordovos, Jacob Hart, and Sean Perkins are the only drivers to ever win two Daytona 500s. James is going to lead the very first lap of the duel. And in the back there, they're racing for that final transfer spot. This is the battle that we're going to be watching for most of the race on throughout. And you see right here with Alan Cavanaro getting passed by Carson Scott down there, but you got to finish inside the top 15. Top 14 at the pole sitter for this race is not inside the top 15. So everyone's going to get racy right here. Guys like Nick Puricles, Vincent Allen, and let's see, Malik Nevins, James Shelley, Stephen Pauly III, Trek Togger, Zayden Davidson, Becca Haddix, Johnny Gardner, Bradley Bishop Jr., Matt DeLeo. They all have no choice but to race their way in, and Jake Bassinger done hit the wall, and he's going to have to hope he can hang on to that draft. Bassinger can get in on either speed or owner points or a past champion professional, so he will, no matter what, make the race. But he is going to possibly hang on to the draft. You got to be careful with that wall up there, because if you run too up close near that wall, you will get sucked into it and you'll fall out of the draft. And we saw that in the Sony shootout. And our pole sitter of the day, Jeff James, is already falling back and possibly outside the top 15. So that means top 14 finishers right now would currently be in the race. Side by side for the lead, Jesse Turner, Charles Sanford. Here we go, 3x3 now. Jesse Turner did get by Sanford, but Dylan Young and Vincent Allen are up here now. Vincent Allen has no other choice but to race his way in. He possibly could rely on qualifying speed, but I wouldn't want to rely solely on that. He's getting help from Nick Puricles, and we did not expect Puricles to do this well in the duel, but Puricles has no other way. Nick Puricles needs to race his way in. He cannot rely on his qualifying speed. That's a little too slow of a lap in qualifying. He's got to race his way in. And right now, I'm very impressed with this car right here. Stephen Pauly III and also Trent Togger's doing very well. They have no choice but to race their way in as well. Stephen Pauly III has made upsets before in making this race, and also by having great Daytona 500 finishes in the 89 car before. So he's on the inside working his way forward, doing very well. Nick Puricles is a surprise to me in the aerodynamics car to be running up here in second place. He's always been very well on super speedway races. Gets shoved to the high side, however. Vincent Allen has won here before. He won the Sony shootout last year. He has to race his way in. In the back here, Matt DeLeo is the only car to lose the draft. Everyone else has kind of made their way into the draft here. So these underfunded teams, oh boy, Charles Sanford hit the wall. Eric Burton's behind him. Jacob Hart's there. Oh, and Sanford's really hitting the wall. He's going to fall out of the draft. So Charles Sanford, he's going to possibly miss the race, but you can't give up now, because we still have pit stops to go underway. We could get a caution, so, but if Sanford can't get back up there, he's going to have to rely on his speed, and Dom Capps and Jacob Hart look like they're losing the pack as well. Stephen Pollard III is really impressing me in this 89 car. Carson Scott and also Nick Hercules is in the wall. And Eric Burton takes evasive action and goes to the apron. But Hercules in the number 99, he had no choice but to race his way in or he would miss the race. And Nick Hercules is possibly going to miss the race now. He got up and into the wall. And if he doesn't get a caution, he's going to be missing the race. From the back to the front, here he comes. Jeff James, the pole sitter, has worked his way back up to the very front of this pack, down the inside of Vincent Allen. So they're side by side. Vincent Allen's led this race for a long time. He still has a lot of help on the outside from Charlie Smith and William Brock. And at the line, James has a good car by himself. He led it that lap. But as you can see back there, Dom Capps, Jacob Hart, Bradley Bishop Jr. have lost the draft. Jacob Hart and Dom Capps are safe, but Bradley Bishop Jr. is going to miss the race if he can't get back up there. Jeff James continuing to run side by side, does not have that much help from Trent Togger. Togger, in his final Daytona 500 attempt to make the race, has no choice but to race his way in as well. And right now he's doing that. Oh, another car in the wall. They're getting racy up in this pack, and man, you cannot afford to get up in that wall. You run 3 wide, and you carry so much speed. Man, Dylan Young nearly turned Eugene to Max. But if you get up near that wall, 3 wide, you're just running so close together, the wall will just suck you right up in there. Right now, what these 5 need to do is draft with each other and just try and not race each other. If these 5 can draft along with each other, and by the time when pit stops come around, they could possibly still be in the game here. Pit stops are still going to be a roll. With all these guys hitting the wall, we got 20 cars that are in this pack. We had 28 that started, and 8 have lost this main pack. Becca Haddix is a car that I didn't expect to do that well. She's right up here in the mix to possibly make the Daytona 500. She's in 19th position. Malik Nevins also needs to race his way in. Ryan Acosta's almost up against that wall. He's in the 18th position. And the 17th position is Aaron Taylor. And 16th is Carson Scott. Right now, this is the battle to get in. And right now, Bassinger at the line will get shuffled out of that spot. And right now, Scott holds the final spot. While Jesse Turner up front leads with the help from Fitzwater and Zayden Davidson. Up front, a battle for the lead yet again. Zachary Fitzwater going underneath of the 17 car of Jesse Turner. And Fitzwater helped Jesse Turner get up the lead. And now Fitzwater takes it. William Brock is riding behind him with Alan Cavanaro. Battle up front, 3 wide again for the lead. Alan Cavanaro dives it down low of Zachary Fitzwater. And now Alan Cavanaro, who had a very good car in the shootout, is going to take the lead away from Fitzwater. Jesse Turner all by himself up high. No friends. Not even his teammate Bassinger is going to go up there with him. Bassinger he looked like he wanted to, but he did not. Fitzwater got shuffled up high as well. As we look back here, this is the battle to get in. Right now, Nevins is looking. He's in the 15th position, but since Jeff James has gotten shuffled outside the top 15 right now, he's already locked in on speed. So Nevins is looking to try and get a spot on Stephen Pollard III. Pollard III has the final spot to get in. Jesse Turner playing victim of hitting the wall. And Turner's in the wall hard. Jesse Turner does not have owner points for this season. He gave that to Luke Martin in the 6th car. And now Jesse Turner, he doesn't have any owner points, but he should be able to get in on time trial speeds. And Turner's going to play victim of losing the pack and fall back into the wall riding group. And these guys are running single file right now to try and not lose that much time. So when pit stops roll around, they could possibly strike at possibly getting into the race. I've been impressed with the fight from these underdog drivers here. Malik Nevins for Fisher Motorsports. Fisher Motorsports had a good run with Jordan Fisher in the duel, or not the duel, but the Sony shootout. But Johnny Gardner and Becca Haddix have really been impressing me that they was able to hold on to the draft and be competitive, and actually at one moment was inside the top 15 to make the race. Johnny Gardner looks like he's going to lose the draft, but as long as he can tag along with this pack, he might still be okay. Bradley Bishop Jr. did lose touch with that pack, so he probably will not make the race. These drivers still have a chance to still race their way in by the way it looks, because they're not losing any time to this front pack anymore. But I'm telling you, Stephen Paul III, Vincent Allen, Becca Haddix, Malik Nevins, they're all racing hard with Trent Togger to try and get that final spot by these underdog drivers. Right there at the line, you see Paul III lost the 15th position to Vincent Allen. So these underdog drivers are going to fight hard because they know it's either race your way in or go to the house. Alan Cavanaro has continued to lead all the laps so far. Just right now been the dominant car. If he had not hit the wall in the shootout, he would have been a very competitive race car. And that's what he's trying to avoid. He's trying to avoid to be right up against the wall like them guys. Charlie Smith and Ryan Acosta with William Brock are all in the wall hard. Charlie Smith and Ryan Acosta all hit it. And that's going to put Smith and Acosta out of the draft. Possibly William Brock as well. And that's going to put Johnny Gardner back as well. But that's going to put this pack a lot bigger. So you never know. The race to get into the race will possibly come from this second pack because so many people have struggled from hitting that wall. The main pack has came up on lap car Matt DeLeo, and that held up Alan Cavanaro just enough to let Aaron Taylor finally challenge the 20. And Aaron Taylor finally gets by Alan Cavanaro. Cavanaro's going to slide down in front of Zachary Fitzwater, kept to defend second place there. New leader, Aaron Taylor. Pit stop is happening early with Nick Kyricles. I guess he has nothing to lose. He was out of the draft, and so Nick Kyricles is going to miss the race if somehow he does not finish inside the top 15 with so many people outside of the top 15 that are actually high in owner points and high in the time trial speeds. This makes me worried about some of these other drivers here, because this is a lot of drivers that are actually high in the owner points and high in the qualifying results that are gonna have to rely on something else other than racing their way in right now. Right now, as things would stand, William Brock is the only driver outside of the top 15 that is going to be battling to get in this race. Zayden Davidson, Becca Haddix, Stephen Paul III, Malik Nevins, and Trent Togger are all jumping for joy for all of this carnage that has been happening by the top drivers of the series here. Aaron Taylor continues to lead with pit stops looming. Alan Cavanaro brings him down pit road, brings himself down pit road, and it's only him. Nobody else comes in. Alan Cavanaro by himself. I wonder what kind of strategy this is. More pit stops the same lap later, and more drivers are coming in. Carson Scott's bringing Vincent Allen, William Brock, Stephen Paul III, and Becca Haddix all down pit road, while the second pack all stays out behind them. Well, Charlie Smith and Johnny Gardner decide to come in, but here we come for pit stops. Oh, and James Shelley blows up as he's coming down for pit stops. James Shelley's gonna miss the Daytona 500. Shelley has been really quick in the duel. We haven't been talking about even that much, but the Finn Guy Bastoni team. Oh, and he runs into Bradley Bishop Jr. as well. More damage there. But, man, James Shelley, he's going to miss the Daytona 500. I don't think he's going to be able to get in on speed with all the guys that are high in the owner points actually having to fall back on other stuff. So James Shelley will possibly miss the Daytona 500 due to this. More people coming down the next lap. Dejon Weeks bringing in... Oh, and that's another engine blowing up there. Charlie Smith. He pitted with Johnny Gardner a lap ago, and Charlie Smith blows an engine. We can only assume switching gears, getting up to speed, he blew a motor. And Charlie Smith, his car is not that very high in owner points either, and he didn't qualify as high either. So Charlie Smith in the Athenian car possibly may miss the Daytona 500 because he's not that high on any other stuff as well. The leaders of Aaron Taylor and Zachary Fitzwater pit together, and I think that might be it other than UT Max coming in now. Let's see. I don't think anyone else stayed out. I don't think they did. So here is what I think is the leaders, maybe, with Dejon Weeks. Dejon Weeks and Jake Bassey are trying to get out with these guys. I believe this is the pack I might be mistaken. But Carson Scott and Vincent Allen, we're going to have to take a look and see. As to Max pitted in that second pack. Here comes Zachary Fitzwood and Aaron Taylor out. Charles Sanford is a lap down. So is Nick Piercles. Well, they're not a lap down, but they're on the tail end of the lead lap. Coming to the line, there's that big pack of cars, and it is led by Carson Scott and Vincent Allen. Alan Cavanaro with Eric Burton. And was Eric Burton out of the pack? I thought he was. He might have not been, but I can't remember. I thought Eric Burton was out of the pack, but right now, good pit stop by Stephen Poe III for that underfunded team to actually get him out with the leaders. And Jeff James is with Trent Togger. And the 15th spot. This is why you never give up in the Sony Cup Series. Look at this. Dom Capps and the number 15 Pennzoil Ford. He was in that second pack, lost the draft early, and right now holds a transfer spot. This little pack is somewhat catching the leaders. Jeff James has a blistering fast race car. He is driving away from Trent Togger and somewhat pulling on the front pack. So the pole sitter still has a quick car, but he needs some help from Togger. You can see he's actually quicker than the pack in front of him. So if Jeff James can get up there, he could possibly win the duel. He also won the shootout. He's trying to get us draft off Zayden Davison down the back straightaway. Togger trying to hang in with him because Togger knows if he loses Jeff James, he's going to fall back here in the mess for the fight for the transfer spot. Right now, 4 drivers are battling for 2 spots. Dom Capps, Ryan Acosta, and then these drivers. These drivers have no choice but to race for that final spot. Becca Haddix and Malik Nevins know they will miss the race if they cannot find a way ahead of one of these drivers. Down the back straightaway, Malik Nevins, he does get underneath of Ryan Acosta. Becca Haddix is losing that pack. I didn't think even Haddix would even have a chance to make the race. But she's right there. She's going to need some help if she's going to make the race. Ryan Acosta gets bumped out of the top 15 for now. Nevins is in it right now. I believe Trent Togger is going to lose the draft, and that's not what he needs in his attempt to finally make the Daytona 500. But they're coming up on lap traffic, and this may help him out enough. Eric Burton, the Athenian car, leads right now. Athenian's having a good run right now at the start of the season with Eric Burton. William Brock gets underneath of Jake Bassinger, Dejon Weeks with Carson Scott as well. Jeff James did catch that pack. You see him at the tail end of it now. Jeff James could be a threat to win the shootout and the duel here. They did catch the slower lap traffic, Charles Sanford and Nick Piercles. They're also going to run up on Bradley Bishop Jr., the ARC Racing car, who will probably miss the Daytona 500. I don't believe that car is high enough in owner points. And with everyone having problems like that are higher than him in owner points, we'll probably have to use up the owner points before they can even get to him. And man, we got a battle for the lead. Aaron Taylor rooted up Dejon Weeks and Eric Burton out of the way. And Aaron Taylor, coming to the line with 8 laps to go, takes the lead away again with Alan Cavanaro, who's been really quick this race as well. And Jeff James pushing Stephen Pollard the third up there. Jeff James has such a quick car. One of the best cars here for Speed Weeks is back into 4th after losing the draft. And back for the transfer spot. You see that 32 of Trent Togger. He's using Matt DeLeo as a pick right now. DeLeo is a lap down, but Togger got left out of the draft. And Trent Togger's trying to hang in there. Dom Capps getting shuffled out of that pack right there. Nevins trying to get underneath of Dom Capps. That's a fight for a transfer spot. Nevins needs it more than Dom Capps does. And Malik Nevins moves into 15th and right now is in the Daytona 500. Becca Haddix is somehow still hanging on to this draft, but it's going to need a miracle if she wants to make the Daytona 500. Ryan Acosta underneath the lap car. So this is a battle that we're all going to watch for a few laps now. It's between 5 drivers for 3 spots. Right now, Togger, Acosta, and Nevins has it, but Dom Capps and Becca Haddix are on the outside looking in. Battle for the transfer spot. Dom Capps bleeding Matt DeLeo and Becca Haddix on the inside. Becca Haddix underneath of Ryan Acosta and Malik Nevins. Hood Huddleston Racing trying to make their first race in the Sony Cup Series. And if they can, Becca Haddock's trying to put the 23 car in the race. Becca Haddock's right now in the race. 15th is where she needs to be. And right now is in the race, but not right now. You have 6 laps to go. Dom Caps, Matt DeLeo is a lap down, so don't pay him any attention, but Acosta has a lot better horsepower than Becca Haddock's does, and it's just going to go right underneath of Haddock's, I believe. Haddock's is going to need to block with all her might here. Right now in the race, and Togger trying to attempt his final Daytona 500, would miss the race right now. But Acosta does get underneath of Haddock's for that final spot. And Haddock's going to dive in front of Trent Togger, but Togger will have none of it and actually gets down the corner panel, but actually loses the draft as Nevins give Becca Haddock's a shove down in the corner. Right now, the final spot would be... Actually, I do believe Haddock still has that transfer spot. Yes, she does. My apologies there. Right now, Don Caps, Ryan Acosta, and Becca Haddock still has that transfer spot. Trent Togger, diving low, really wants to make his final Daytona 500 start. He's been in the series since Season 2, and he's going to go right underneath the rookie. Up front, you haven't missed much. You see Aaron Taylor has been hanging on to the lead. He's been playing blocker the last few laps. Just been going up the high side, going up the inside, blocking every groove he needs to. And Aaron Taylor's having a whale of a run right now. Martin Motorsports trying to sweep the Daytona weekend here, as they have won everything so far. And Aaron Taylor's on roll right now to win the duel for Duel 1. But Jeff James, the Daytona 500 pole sitter and the shootout winner, has moved into 2nd place. And down the back straightaway, will James make a move on his teammate? He will. Jeff James down low of Aaron Taylor. The battle for the lead is going on. Jeff James is trying to do exactly what he did in 2015. Win everything in the Daytona 500 Speed Weeks. And he goes low of his teammate. Taylor gonna try and go low, but can't block Zayden Davidson. Davidson's having a whale of a run for Wake Motorsports. Wake Motorsports, who was just trying to make the Daytona 500, has moved into 2nd place. But back for the transfer spot, Malik Nevins has moved into the picture and actually is competitive to make this race here. The guys that really need to race their way in so badly here. And this is, actually Zachary Fitzwater somehow has lost the draft. This could be terrible news for him. But right here, this is the battle. Dom Caps holds it. Nevins has it as well. And Haddock's holds the final transfer spot. Trent Togger has to find some way around Haddock's if he wants to make his final Daytona 500 start. Acosta should be good on owner points, but you can't bank on that either. He's got to race his way in here. The white flag is in the air. Jeff James leads. Carson Scott's there. I don't know if they're going to be able to get around him. They're side by side, but Carson Scott, who is strong in the shootout, is going to give James a run for his money. As we look back in the transfer spot, they're going to run up on Zachary Fitzwater, but I don't think they're going to have enough time. Can Trent Togger find a way around Becca Haddock's? Up front, Carson Scott trying to get a run in 3, but he doesn't have it, I don't think. I think Jeff James is going to hold him off. And down the straightaway, Dom Caps has a run on these guys. It's not going to be enough, but Haddock's peaks high for some reason. Oh, but Trent Togger, can he get around him? I don't think he can. To the line, Jeff James is going to win the shootout for Duel 1. And to the line, Zachary Fitzwater is in, Caps is in, Nevins is in, and Becca Haddock makes the Daytona 500. Unbelievable. I did not think Hood Huddleston Racing would actually make the Daytona 500, but Haddock shuts out Trent Togger in his final Daytona 500 attempt. Togger will miss the Daytona 500. Kind of sad if you think about it. Trent Togger's been in the series every season since Season 2. And he announced his final season for the Sony Cup Series and just gets shut out of the final spot by the rookie. Up front, got to give a call to Jeff James. He was out of the draft. Out of the draft with Trent Togger from that main pack. And Jeff James still drove that pack down. Jeff James has one of the best super speedway race cars I have ever seen. He's trying to do exactly what he did in 2015. Win everything there was to win that he was in 2015 Daytona 500 Speed Weeks. Incredible by Jeff James. This is going to be a threat for the Daytona 500. Jeff James has been on a roll this Speed Weeks. He's the pole sitter and the shootout winner. Congratulations to him, and also congratulations to the guys that made the race. Top 15 finishers in this duel made the race. The officials said that we're not going to have any burnouts for the shootout because we need to get ready for the duel number 2. Jeff James, no burnouts for him, but he is celebrating in the Gatorade victory lane. Congratulations to him. Carson Scott is in the Vincent Allen, he had to race his way in. He did a good job. Dejon Weeks did a good job. Zayden Davison, a very good job. He will start in the 9th position for the Daytona 500. Congratulations to him on his return and making the race for Wake Motorsports. William Brock is in. Aaron Taylor is in. Alan Cavanaro, he had a good car. He is in. Eric Burton led near the end. He is in. Bassinger with a good car. He is also in. Stephen Pollard III had to race his way in. Congratulations to Pollard. He's done this many a times, having to race his way in, and Pollard does it. 11th is good enough. Fitzwater is also in. Dom Capps, he never gave up. Him nor Nevins never gave up when they lost that draft, and they're in the race because of it. And Becca Haddix gets the final spot to get in, and I didn't think Haddix would even make the race. That underfunded team came down here with little to nothing. They was at the bottom of the charts. They only was faster than the Crayola car. And that's the only car that they was faster than. And Hood Huddleston Racing got Becca Haddix in the race. Tret Togger will go home. Ryan Acosta is going to have to wait and see if he'll make the race. Eugene Max will be in the race. Jesse Turner will also be in the race somehow. Dylan Young, we're going to wait and see if he'll make the race. I think he will. Johnny Gardner will be going home. Jacob Hart will either use a past champions provisional or his speed or owner points. Sanford, the same for him. Not a past champion provisional, but he should be able to get in on owner points. Bradley Bishop Jr. will go home. Pierre Calise will go home. DeLeo's going home. James Shelley will be going home. Charlie Smith might go home as well, but we're going to have to wait and see. Here we are for the duel. Duel number 2. So we just seen Jeff James win yet another race. The only other Martin Motorsports car in this race is Ryan Griffin. And can Griffin continue in the hot streak for Martin Motorsports? And number 11, the rookie. In the back, you see right here Michael White having to start at the rear of the field. He had to go to the rear of the field for unapproved changes on the race car after his qualifying session. Ryan Griffin's going to lead down Nick Mace, James Silverfox, Jordan Davis, and the rest of the field. Who will make the race and who will win it? Down to the line, green flag. To start off with, the Mace Enterprises cars on the high side started off shoving each other. Jordan Davis shoving Boss with Nick Mace on the high side to try and draw even with Ryan Griffin. And side by side down the back straightaway. Griffin running door to door with Nick Mace. They're going to open it up 3 wide for Silverfox to take advantage, bringing Luke Martin with them. And as they're getting 3 wide for the transfer spot already, with Kyle Collins getting in there and putting him a wide on the outside looking in. We're going to have to see if these guys actually race with patience in mind compared to what they did in duel number 1. Because you saw guys run up right against the wall and actually slide into it and lose the draft. And that actually hurt a lot of guys like Eugene Max, the Mace Enterprises teammate over there, and Jesse Turner. Up front, James Silverfox leads the way with his own car. DJ Curtis right behind him. Battle for the lead going on. DJ Curtis looking to try and take it away from his boss of James Silverfox. Silverfox to the line, edging out in front of DJ Curtis yet again for another lap led. Silverfox, Curtis getting the help from Sky Commons. Then Jeffrey Lynn and Andres Allen not far behind. Scott Roush in a must race his way in situation where I don't think his lap's going to be good enough in qualifying to rely on, and he has no owner points. So Roush has to race his way in to really do well here. Same with Jeffrey Finguy. I don't know if his lap in qualifying will be good enough to get him in the race. His owner points from last year are not good enough either. So a lot of guys in this race are going to need to step their performance up, like Kyle Collins, to race their way in. Now Jeffrey Lynn's taking his turn at the point. Jeffrey Lynn, the Mace Enterprises car, taking the lead now. Andres Allen's going to follow suit. Right now we've went along a pretty good ways right now. The pack is still mainly intact right now. So these guys have been a lot better about not overdriving turn 3 and 4 and hitting the wall. But there are a lot of guys are packed up on the outside. I would be worried if I was them. But right now, back here you see John Bunnell, also a Hood Huddleston car, is somewhat still hanging on to the draft. I expected the Crayola to still be slow, but they've actually really made a lot of gains since the last time they've attempted the Daytona 500. Aiden Shepard in the car is actually running around there and not being that far off the pace. Michael White's slower than he is, and Cloud9 seems like they really missed the setup or something, and White can barely even keep up with the Crayola. Luke Martin in the 6 hits the wall, and Martin, who is a fast car, is going to lose the draft here, and there's no way he's going to be able to tag along with them unless he can just draft up to them guys like Jeff James did in the last duel race, but I don't see it happening. Up front, Jeffrey Finguy is leading. You heard that right. Jeffrey Finguy is up front leading. The new Allen Family Racing affiliate team right there with, oh boy, David Culpepper nearly took out the field when he moved over into Sky Commons down the straightaway. But Allen Family Racing and Finguy Bastoni sharing notes, and Finguy Bastoni now a Dodge team, actually working with Finguy, or Andres Allen's team, working very well together. And Finguy leading the race right now. Jordan Fisher, who had a very good car in the shootout, is actually running well up here. A lot of underdogs that we don't expect to be up here. Look at this. Jeffrey Finguy, Jordan Fisher, Hayden Klein, David Culpepper, and Sean Perkins. Culpepper, this is a one-off race for him. And that number 96 Blue Flare Toyota. He's just trying to get that car in the race. That's all they want. They want an extra paycheck for the Daytona 500. And here they are. Culpepper has that car in the race right now. And the charge by 4 Toyotas on the bottom by Fisher, Klein, Perkins, and Steven Jenkins there. Nick Mace charging his way to the front. And also Chris Dodd, Mason Gordon, and Tristan Woolhoit are having great runs as well. Now we have another new leader up front. Jordan Fisher is going to take the lead with help from Season 4 champion of Hayden Klein. Here comes Sean Perkins ducking out underneath of him. 3 wide back there for second. Man, this is some good runs by these underdogs. David Culpepper's up in the wall, however, he gets it off. I think some of these guys are, I expected not to be this good, but they're running very, very strong. Jordan Fisher trying to take the lead from Jeffrey Finguy at the line. I'm surprised to say it, but Jeffrey Finguy is the strongest car out there right now. He's pulling the gap on the field. He's blocking all the grooves that he needs to. Jeffrey Finguy looking like a good car to actually win a race of a Sony Cup Series event for the first time in years. But the competition up here is very, very surprising. You got Mason Gordon, Tristan Woolhoit, guys that aren't known to be full-time in the series. Chris Dodd, out of all people who failed to qualify for like half the races last year, he's been running the inside groove, and that groove's been making a lot of progress. Sean Perkins trying to bring Scott Roush up on the high side. Fisher jumps up high. Jeffrey Finguy blocking all the grooves he has to right now. Hayden Klein's up in the wall, the Season 4 champion. And he's going to lose the pack as well. Maybe David Culpepper will too. Yep, he's definitely losing the pack. Steven Jenkins might be able to hold on. But when Klein got up in the wall, that was all she wrote. Maybe he can still make the race. You never know. We still have pit stops to go as the field. I'm telling you, the first few cars. The top 5 is an unusual top 5. Jeffrey Finguy first, Jordan Fisher second, Chris Dodd third, Mason Gordon in fourth, and fifth is Tristan Wilhoit. Very, very unusual top 5. Kenny Myatt was supposed to be in the 09, but he put Tristan Wilhoit in the car, and Wilhoit's driving a pretty good race here. Doing a very good job right now in the 5th position. And all of these guys, super speedway racing makes for a good even balance here. You can see all the cars that aren't usually good are actually running very well on a super speedway track here. Any other track, and these cars would not be this good. And Finguy continuing to lead the way. Another car has hit the wall. Jordan Fisher, who was having a good run there, who really needs to race his way in. Jordan Fisher hit the wall and possibly will now miss the Daytona 500 if he cannot find a way back up there if he doesn't get a caution. The underdog party is slowly getting split up as the top drivers of the series, Nick Mays, Jeffrey Finguy, Sky Commons, Andres Allen, DJ Curtis, and Jordan Davis are all splitting them guys back up again. Nick Mays trying to find a way around Jeffrey Finguy. Finguy's just doing a good job of blocking every group he needs to right now. It's been leading most of the laps right now. Now, granted, Jeffrey Finguy's car is not a bad car. That car is funded by the Allen Family Racing Team. It's almost as similar as Sky Commons' race car. So Finguy's driving the wheels off of it right now. All the underfunded teams that was doing well, like Mason Gordon, Chris Dodd, and Tristan Wilhoit, are all back here in the rear of the field now. But, oh, Matthew Rodriguez up in the wall. He gets off of it, but see guys like Nick Mace trying to make a run on the high side with DJ Curtis, but Curtis peaks low there. Man, Jeffrey Finguy continuing to dominate Duel 2. Nearly a wreck right here. 4 wide, the aerodynamics cars got together. I thought they did. No, they didn't. Mason Gordon, Kyle Collins beat and banged down the straightaway, and that was almost disastrous. Collins and Gordon and Roush and Wilhoit, all of them right there need to race their way in. This is the round of battle for the transfer spot. You see Kyle Collins has it right now, and he's going to pit. I think he's going to pit early because he thinks he might have a tire going down after the contact that him and Mason Gordon had. So Collins will pit early here. He should be able to make it all the way on fuel, but his tires are going to be bad near the end of the next run. Jeffrey Finguy's reign at the lead is no more. Jordan Davis gets a run with Steven Jenkins, the Red Bull, and Davis gets a run right up underneath him, scoots him up out of the way, and Davis took the lead off turn 4, and that was when Kyle Collins was pitting, and now the new leader is Jordan Davis. But that didn't last for long, as Ryan Griffin has somewhat found his way back up here in the lead, with Sean Harple riding behind him. Sean Perkins, though, in the 81 Toyota, has found his way near the front, and he's getting help from Steven Jenkins, the old Red Bull car. And Sean Perkins hoping to try and get some run and momentum on the high side here to try and take the lead. Sean Perkins, a 2-time Daytona 500 winner. That team is not the best team out there, but he's trying to make the best of it here. Perkins on the outside getting help from Jenkins, but with Griffin blocking, Griffin's going to go up high, and here comes Harple now to the inside trying to take the lead. I can't help but still see the Hood Huddleston car of John Bunnell still hanging on to this pack right now. He's been doing this, he's been hanging back at this pack right here at this same distance all the laps right now. Bunnell's teammate, Becca Haddock, has been ran a little like this in the duel number 1, and Haddock's barely got in the race, so we could have another underdog make the race. And some underdogs up here in this pack, like Emma White, who failed to qualify for the 500 last year. She's up here. Mason Gordon trying to put ARC Racing in the field when Bradley Bishop Jr. might not be able to. Chris Dodd, Scott Roush, and Tristan Wilhoit are all trying to do the same. Ryan Griffin, the pole sitter of this duel, right now leads. Ryan Griffin's going to lose the lead here down the back straightaway to the Sean Harple machine. The Dairy Queen Toyota getting help from Rodriguez. However, Tristan Wilhoit does jump up there with Ryan Griffin. We may encounter lap traffic before pit stops. But Harple has Matthew Rodriguez and Sean Perkins riding behind him. So, but further back here, Chris Dodd right now is in the Daytona 500 as they would run. Let's see where the transfer spot is. I think Andres Allen has it. No, he's actually outside of it right now. Well, no, he might be in it. Yeah, that was a scoring dispute there. Right now, Andres Allen is in, and Sky Commons, Emma White, and Steven Jenkins are looking to be in, while Cody Lamas and Mason Gordon barely hang on to this pack. John Bunnell has finally lost this draft. Tristan Woolhoit hit the wall, but it looks like he's going to be okay. I thought it was going to be a lot worse than what it was. Woolhoit's one chance to make the Daytona 500 for aerodynamics, and he nearly cost it there as he hit the wall. Tristan Woolhoit has decided to bring it in. These guys have been staying out a lot longer than the other guys did in the Duel 1, so Woolhoit is the first regular pit stop of the day. These guys have calmed down for the majority of this part of the race right here, running about 2 wide for the most part, occasional 3 wide. But Levi Pass goes up near the wall. He better not hit the wall like that. So we might have some guys pit this lap here. Maybe. Nope, they're all staying out. They're staying out a lot longer than I expected these guys to do. Ryan Griffin with the push and help assist from Sean Perkins is pushing him out front. Got him a good run down this back straightaway. And Ryan Griffin around the outside is going to take the lead away from Sean Harple. And now the two Seans run side by side. And now Perkins and Finn Guy, who are one of the biggest rivals of the series. Oh, and caution is out. Caution flag is out for some reason just before pit stops. Wow. And that might help some of the guys that did pit. I don't know. But caution flag is out for some reason. I just wanted to show you guys this so you guys don't say, oh, rigged. There's nothing that happened on the racetrack. I get told this all the time. Oh, rigged caution. No, it's a debris caution, so whatever it was, I suppose it came off of Will Hoyt's race car. But caution flag did wave for debris. So we will go back and underway of racing, and I think John Bunnell might have just snooped these guys there. Here is the race off pit road, and everyone's coming into pit. Who's going to come out first? Looks like Sean Harple with only right side tires there, and Griffin doing the same thing. Perkins in the back looks like he's doing some strategy as well with Finn Guy and Rodriguez. Chris Dodd with only the right side tires as well. 4 tires for Nick Mason, Jordan Davis. Some of these guys are gambling like Mason Gordon in the 06. Man, these guys are making some strategy calls there. Michael White made some strategy there as well. He lost the draft real early. So this is going to bring them all back together for a run to the finish. Remember when I said John Bunnell probably snooped him? He did not beat him to the line. So he was stuck a lap down. Tristan Woolhoit, John Bunnell, and Kyle Collins are a lap down. They pitted off sequence. They pitted before the caution. But here we are to the run to the finish. Sean Harple will be the leader with about 14 laps to go. Ryan Griffin, Sean Perkins, Matthew Rodriguez, Jeffrey Fingay, Chris Dodd playing some strategy calls to get him where he is there. Jordan Davis, Nick Mays, DJ Curtis, Scott Roush, Steven Jenkins, Cody Lamas. That's the top 12. Mason Gordon doing some strategy as well. He's 13th. 14th, Andreas Allen. 15th, and the final transfer spot is Emma White. On the outside looking in, Jordan Fisher has one more chance for him. David Culpepper also back in the fight. He could make it. Hayden Klein, he has a chance to make it again. Jeffrey Lynn, James Silverfox. Michael White played some strategy in there. Sky Commons is back there. Luke Martin is still back here as well. Aiden Shepard is not at the speed and probably will not make the race. But right now, Sean Harple is picking his way through the lap cars right now and is now still out front. However, Sean Harple is waving. He has a problem, and Scott Roush gets turned by Steven Jenkins. And down, oh, is that going to bring out a caution? I don't think it will. Scott Roush just got, like, Oh, man. He got turned because of it. Okay, Sean Harple coming down pit road had a problem. I think he had a tire going down or something. He took only right side tires and something was amiss. So he don't know what's going on. Scott Roush coming in. Man, that really split up the field. Gotta feel bad for the 9-car Scott Roush. He's gonna miss the Daytona 500 because of that. Up front, Ryan Griffin and Jordan Davis are pulled away from the field. DJ Curtis is up here. Matthew Rodriguez, lap car, Kyle Collins. Jeffrey Finguy is in right now. Will Hoyt's a lap down. Cody Lamas is in it. Andreas Allen is in. Nick Mace is in right now. Sean Perkins is in. Chris Dodd is still somehow in this race in the top 10 right now. Stephen Jenkins, who turned Scott Roush off the bumper of his car, is in 11th. Jordan Fisher 12th. 13th, Emma White. 14th is Jeffrey Lynn, and 15th is James Silverfox. On the outside looking in is Luke Martin, Levi Pasco, Sky Commons, Mason Gordon, and Hayden Klein need to get back up there. So does Michael White and David Culpepper. Aiden Shepard's going to lose the draft, but man, you got to feel really bad for Scott Roush, and even worse for Sean Harple. He had a good car to win, but Scott Roush just wanted to make the Daytona 500. Harple will make the 500, but Roush, he won't make the 500 now unless there's a caution. As the field of cars packs up once again, and DJ Curtis is going to swallow up DJ Curtis and Ryan Griffin. The pack just goes right by them. The pack is formed up once again, and further in the back of the field, Mason Gordon is losing that pack. He only took right side tires, may I add, and that's kind of holding back these guys of Hayden Klein, Michael White, and the 96 of David Culpepper. 18-car pack for the race win, and also to make the Daytona 500. The Sky Commons machine is on the outside, so is Fisher and Stephen Jenkins. Jenkins needs to find one more spot, and that one spot could come from Levi Pasco. Oh, an engine's blowing up! Jordan Davis has blown a motor! Jordan Davis, one of our quickest cars of the Speed Weeks, has just blown up. So he's going to have to rely on either his speed or owner points. So that's another one of those spots taken up. So that means even more that these guys are going to need to race hard. That engine blowing up actually saved these four drivers of Mason Gordon, Michael White, David Culpepper, Hayden Klein. They had no chance of making the race. Now they got one more shot. And with that holding up them guys, that has really split up the race for the lead as well. Matthew Rodriguez in the Horizon Group car leads right now. DJ Curtis, Sean Harple, Jeffrey Finguy at the top 5. 6th is Ryan Griffin. Then it is Nick Mace. Actually, let's see. No, Rodriguez is first. DJ Curtis is second. Harple is in. He's a lap down. 3rd is Jeffrey Finguy. 4th is Ryan Griffin. 5th is Nick Mace. Only 5 cars have pulled away here. Here comes DJ Curtis down the inside. It's the race back here. Chris Dodd at benefited a lot there by that stance right there. Andreas Allen, Dodd, Martin, Perkins, Emma White. Then it's Jeffrey Lynn, James Silverfox, Levi Pasco, Stephen Jenkins, Cody Lamas, and Sky Commons are side by side. And I think Commons just got the final spot there. We'll have to see at the line. Yes, he did. So right now, Sky Commons holds the final transfer spot over Cody Lamas and Kyle Collins. Collins needs that spot if he wants to make it in the race. So does Will Hoyt, Fisher, Michael White, and David Culpepper. Mason Gordon does as well with Hayden Klein. So as they get racy back there, they're getting racy up here for the lead. Jeffrey Finguy has moved into 2nd place. DJ Curtis leads right now with 5 to go. This pack continues to get racy as Sean Perkins holds the final spot to get in. Man, this is going to come down to the nitty-gritty. James Silverfox is on the outside looking in. Everyone's going to need to be racing hard. Up front, DJ Curtis continuing to lead, but they hang Nick Mace out to dry. The lap cars of Scott Roush and Sean Harple may play a role in the finish of this race. This pack is getting so racy. They knocked Levi Pasco out of the transfer spot. Michael White, who almost went a lap down earlier in the race, he is still right here in the mix. They're getting really racy, trying to get that spot. Perkins is in the mix. Andreas Allen is slipping back. On the inside, Solar Fox Fisher there as well. Let's see at the line. Levi Pasco is in the 17th position. Is that right? If it is, Jordan Fisher, I don't know. Andreas Allen might be in that final spot. He was, and he just got passed by Fisher. So here comes Jordan Fisher down the back straightaway. I don't know. It's going to be really close for the transfer spot. I wouldn't want to be back there. Matthew Rodriguez has worked his way back through this pack. Lap cars are in the way. Coming to the white flag of the race, DJ Curtis looks like he's going to get the win. Possibly another Ford going to victory lane in the Daytona Speed Weeks. DJ Curtis taking the white flag. They're out of the scramble of that pack behind them. Michael White, who almost went a lap down earlier in the race, has worked his way into the final transfer position. Michael White was drafting with Aiden Shepard all race long, the Crayola. He's in a position here. Levi Pasco in the 55. Emma White falling back here in the going. She might miss the race. Nick Mace has gotten underneath the lap car of Sean Harple. Through 3 and 4, can Rodriguez mount a charge on DJ Curtis? I don't think so. Let's see. 20th, 19th, 18th, 17th, 16th. This is the battle right here. Emma White's got to get there. Emma White's on the outside looking in. And it looks as though they're not going to get there. Michael White is going to get the final transfer position. Michael White, who almost went a lap down before the caution flew, is going to get the final transfer position, while DJ Curtis holds on and wins the race over Matthew Rodriguez, Nick Mason third, Jeffrey Fingay with a great run in fourth, and fifth is the outside pole sitter, Brian Griffin. I cannot, oh my, how, that caution early in the race, Michael White, who had to go to the rear of the field for unapproved changes after qualifying. His teammate Matt DeLeo was so slow, Michael White was nowhere all race. He wasn't. Michael White was one of the slowest cars all throughout this race. He got the final transfer position. Okay, here's a replay. Remember Tristan Woolhoit dropping debris? Yeah, the pack was right here. The caution comes out right around here. And there is Michael White with Aiden Shepard. Michael White was nearly half a straightaway from going a lap down. And the caution flag flies. And that saves Michael White from going a lap down. And fast forward all the way to here in the final stages of this race, getting himself in position to make this race. Michael White, driving for only the super speedways, drafted up to that pack, timed it perfect, got to the inside, followed Kyle Collins, and to the line. He gets himself in the 15th position there, and all the way around the racetrack, holds it off. David Culpepper tried to follow White into the race, but it wasn't enough. Michael White does not have the fastest car out there. Cloud9 was going to be happy if they could have just made the race. And to the line, his competition was Emma White in the 95, and he beats her right there. So how about that? Michael White and Becca Haddix pulls off some crazy underdog story. That's great, feel-good stories that made the Daytona 500. Some pretty good racing for the final transfer positions there. Michael White, I didn't even think for a minute he would be a contender to make this race when he almost went a lap down before the caution flew. He couldn't even keep up on lap 2 with the pack, and Michael White somehow makes the race. Congratulations to him. Let's get you to our finishing results. DJ Curtis wins over Matthew Rodriguez, Nick Mace. Jeffrey Fingay had a great car. The Fingay, Sony, and Allen family racing team really working together good. Ryan Griffin, them 5 pulled it away. Steven Jenkins got in the race after Scott Roush spinning off the bumper of his car. James Silverfox is in. Lynn is in. Fisher did a good job when that caution came back out to get himself in the race as well. Good underdog story for him as well. Sean Perkins finishing 10th. Levi Pasco in 11th. Chris Dodd makes the race. That's another good feel-good story there. Chris Dodd will make his first Daytona 500 start by finishing 12th. Sky Commons in 13th. Cody Lamas in the 14th position. And Michael White somehow makes the race. Unbelievable. Now, we do not know who will make the race and who will not. So, let's get you to the starting lineup for the Daytona 500, and we will show you at the end of the starting lineup who got in and who did not.